I know people who say that good sound is more important than the visuals. And I agree, because the audience will tolerate poor visuals in a documentary, but they won't endure bad sound. They'll just turn it off. We rationalize what we see, but because we don't see the sound, we accept it on a subconscious and emotional level. If there's a problem with the visuals, we acknowledge that there's an unfortunate moment. But if there's a problem with the sound, the audience assumes there's a problem with the whole film. I've seen it many times before, especially with student films. So it's very important that you record good sound. Knowing that you're recording with your mobile phones and not using extra or professional equipment, let me give you some recommendations for recording good sound. Your phone records sound, and the quality is pretty good. But there are things that you can do to help make the sound even better. Phones have built-in systems to adjust the levels of recordings so that you don't have to worry about turning up or turning down the sound while you're recording. This is helpful when you have so many other things that you're trying to think about. When I'm doing a professional documentary, I prefer to control the sound levels myself, but that's probably for another video series. Apps that come with your phone generally don't have options for turning up or down the internal microphone when you record. You'll be able to do a certain amount of volume correction in your edit, but even if you do turn up someone speaking and the location is noisy, the background will get louder too. What's important is something called signal-to-noise ratio. The voice of the person you're recording is the signal, the dominant sound in your recording. The noise is the background sound. Your goal is to maximize the signal and minimize the noise. You want the background noise to be as quiet as possible so that nothing interferes with what your interviewee has to say. So how do you do this? Here are 6 simple suggestions. 1. Record in a quiet location. This might mean sacrificing an interesting, dynamic, and busy location, but if you don't want your audience to be distracted and frustrated because they can't hear, then it's a sacrifice worth taking. 2. Turn off things that make noise in your location. Close windows if it's loud outside. Culprits include air conditioning, heating fans, and fridges. But don't forget to turn them back on when you're finished shooting, especially fridges. I speak from painful experience. 3. Get the camera as close to the person talking as you can. 4. Set the levels in the app if you can. 5. Listen. Put your headphones on while you're interviewing so you can hear and monitor the incoming sound. 6. Do a test. Record a couple of seconds of your interviewee talking and play it back to ensure that you're recording good sound. There's nothing worse than finishing an interview only to discover that you didn't record the sound properly. Not that this has happened to me, but I've witnessed many students suffer because of it. So how do you know if you're recording good sound? Well, we all know what bad sound sounds like. The harder questions are, is the sound too bad to use, and can it be saved? The first question is hard to answer. I can't say where that tipping point is without hearing the recording. Basically, if you can't understand what the person on camera is saying, or the background noise is so loud that it's too distracting, then the sound isn't usable. The question about salvaging a recording, given that you're working on a budget, you probably can't save the recording. There are people with more sophisticated audio software that can make recordings better and get rid of unwanted noise, but you'll have to pay for that service. It's just as easy, fast, and inexpensive to redo the interview in a more quiet situation. You'll know your recording is good if 1. The dialogue is clear and present. 2. You don't notice the background noise. 3. Sudden sounds aren't distracting your viewer or seem out of place, such as a loud siren, someone clashing the dishes next door, or an incessantly barking dog, etc., etc. Recording good sound, particularly dialogue, isn't easy. There are next-level tools you can invest in, such as lavalier microphones to plug directly into the audio jack of your phone. For example, the one I'm using plugs directly into the mobile and gets better quality sound than the mic on the camera. been hidden under my shirt the whole time. Let me demonstrate. This is what the sound sounds like without the lavalier microphone. Still, if you're going to do a lot of interviews beyond the camera mic and a tripod, a lavalier microphone that plugs directly into your camera or the wireless microphone would be my first purchase. So if you're going to do a lot of interviews, I suggest that you buy a lavalier microphone that you can plug directly into your phone. Until then, the phone does come with a microphone and will be able to record decent quality audio.